Welcome back to Primary Teaching with Dom. So here we are with a brand new video, and this video is going to be discussing behavior management. Now, I've done a video on behavior management before, and trust me this time, I will leave a link up there and a link in the description bar below for you to check out one of my third videos. I did that video over a year ago at this point, I think. It was one of my first videos when I was like, you know, new to this. Not new to this no more. So I did that video. And there are similar things in that video that I'm going to discuss today, but as I have become an improved and better teacher, and now I finished my NQT. When I was there, I was a PGCE student, but now I'm actually past my NQT and I'm going on to be, you know, not an NQT. I don't know what they call it. Is it NQT plus one or is it just regular teacher now? Whatever you might call it, I don't get NQT time anymore, so sad. But I'm going to talk about behavior management and the things that I have learned, and trust me, it hasn't been easy. These are the things that I have learned and I've adopted in my own teacher practice that has worked out so brilliantly. And for my new class, I'll be taking loads of elements of those but change them slightly because children are different. So let's get on with this video. The first behavior strategy that I use in my class is a timer. There are some days when you just can't be bothered to speak, you're over it, you're tired of talking, but now you're tired. So what you do, or what I do, is that I actually go onto Google and I just type in stopwatch. Sorry, not timer, stopwatch. And I go on stopwatch and I put it full screen and I just let it go. And I just sit there. Because as the time the children start to realize, they're waiting. But I would say to tell them in advance, because some children will have no clue what you're doing. So tell them in advance, well, children, if you do not stop talking, I'm going to put on a stopwatch, and however long it goes on, that's the time that you're missing out your lunchtime or playtime. And you already warn them, so they already know. And they carry on because, you know, some children do, you know. So you just go onto Google quietly, just type in stopwatch and put it on full screen and just leave it there. Children will go, shh, timer, as my last class did. And it will keep going until they stop. And if it goes to 50 seconds, you've made 50 seconds off your playtime. Because what happens, and what I didn't do much when I first started, was being consistent. And I have learned that being consistent is key. And that will delve into my NQT video that is coming up very soon. But being consistent is the main key. If you are going to give them that stopwatch, that time, then keep going with that time. Don't just say, okay, you know, playtime since you've been... No. You keep that 50 seconds. I know it sounds really insignificant for 50 seconds, but trust me, when the children knows their playtime and you're saying, okay, well, you got 50 seconds on my clock. I can add more time if you want. That will show them that you mean business. Even if it's 15 seconds, I know it sounds really like out there, really dumb, but even if it's 15 seconds, still do it, because you got to hammer into them that you're not joking. When you want children to stop, and they're not stopping, and you put that stopwatch on, that is the time that you've missed off your learning. So I have to get that back. You know, I've planned this lesson, or I'm doing this lesson that I don't like, or, you know, that I've worked hard to prepare for you, and you think that 15 seconds wasn't a lot? Okay, I can take it back. So the timer, my stopwatch is beautiful. I don't use it all the time. There's other strategies I do use, but that is one I do use a little bit here and there, and it does work, especially when you don't have the voice to talk and you can't be bothered. You're like, you know what, I'm gonna put this on. See what happens. The next behavior strategy, the next behavior management tool that I use is seating. So seating, not to put the children that talk all the time next to each other, because that's just not gonna work. Because every single day, or every 29,000 times out of the day, you're gonna keep repeating the same names because you have unstrategically put them together. So seating is key. Seating is invaluable. Putting children next to children that know who have strong enough willpower to not lose self-control and speak to them. It's hard for children, no doubt, but there are children that you know will suit other children better. Putting children together who are able to talk when it's talking time, because that is behavior. Low-level behavior, because they're not disrupting you, but they're not actually doing your lesson. So that is what you call the low-level behavior. The high-level behaviors, the ones that really are like the run-outs, the ones that trash your classroom, the ones that always talk over you, or the ones that do whatever they need to do. Those are what you call the high level behaviors, but the low level ones, the ones that are not speaking. So seating, always put children together that need to be put together. And I actually think that this video will come out after my NQT video, because these are quite a lot of things that I have learned about behavior. Or should I? Who knows? But definitely seating. Put children together that need to be together, that work together, put high, low, middles all together in one-on-one table or in seating, so you can get more out of them, and that will give a low percentage of them acting out and you having to shout for their name. The next thing I've learned is the silent ones. Okay? And I wait for them. And they know. I don't know where I got it from. I really don't know. I didn't learn it from anywhere. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never seen people clap, clap, click, click. I've heard hands on top. Everyone stop, but that doesn't really work with the class I had, because it just got them over excited. So I didn't know where I got it from. It just randomly came to me one day. Like I did hand your head and stop. I do say it out verbally, and they know not to repeat it back, and they know to look. Sometimes I could do it really silent, and then they will go. Even better that I got with my class that I do. Silent. And then they knew, not all the children knew that when they were talking, you know, but then they will get the gist of when I'm now doing this, that they're to stop. And I really think those are really good. Doing the ones that you don't need to speak for. I would say you need to train your children to do it, because I had to train them not to do it with me. You don't do it with me. No, not with me. And I would say it out loud, like hands on your head and stop. Oh, and I'd be like, oh, look at that child. Look, well done over there. Look, well done. That's going to go to my next point. And then children would eventually all clock on to the fact that I'm now waiting, and then do it that way. I did eventually get the children to do it, to get me to do it silently, like this. It did take, I'll say a long time, probably like 2 weeks, still long, but I got to the point where I over-exaggerate, but I don't need to say it out loud. The next behavior strategy that I love to do, and I've learned it from being mentored at my school and, you know, hearing about it, is that positive comments. So saying, oh, look at that art, look how beautiful, I don't know, David, there's no David, I don't know David, but look how beautiful David's sitting on that carpet, looks amazing. Oh, and then when it comes to bad behavior, highlight it in a positive way with someone else. You'd be like, I'm not so happy, child A, that you're speaking. Can you look at child B and look how beautifully they're sitting on that carpet? Look how they're sitting and showing self-control. Can you do the same? So highlighting their bad behavior, but molding it into a positive for some other child that is doing the correct thing. I've learned that, and it does work very well, because children love to be recognized. They absolutely love to be told that they're doing things well. So doing that is amazing. And the last thing, because there's so much more that I wouldn't get into my NQT video, because that's going to be quite a long video for me, and that's a journey. But the last thing I have learned, behavior management, is telling the children that you're proud of them. Showing the children that you're proud of them. My children that I had before absolutely loved when I used to say that they're great and they're amazing. They loved when I had certificates, like little, you know, you are a star. Oh no, add that to the list. I used to get you are a star, like little certificates. They loved when I did that. I did 3 per day. They actually, I just used to say, oh, I don't even have a sheet of paper. I used to be like, who can I give this certificate to today? Like, even when they're talking quite loudly, you're just sitting there, I'm like, who can I give this certificate today? They were like, they loved it up. They absolutely love it. They love being recognized. They love it. And the smile on their face when they got a certificate, it's just a small sheet of paper, honestly. I even use a to-do list note thing to say you're a star on it. The light of their face, the surprise when they're not thinking it's them, because you're just looking around, you're like, and I'll keep it suspense of like, and I write it down, and then you say, I'm giving this to blah blah blah, and then they'll be like, and then everyone will clap. That is so cute to see. So please do praise your children. Do a star of the week. For my class, I did do certificates for them, like little mini ones, just because they needed that push. I'm still going to do it next year, but I might just do one rather than 3. I did it quite late in the year, so I had loads of them to give out. But I'm going to do 1 per day. That means a child gets 1 all the time, start ticking their names off, and they can get 2 or 3 in a year. So yes, those are the things that I have learnt. There's much more, but I'll go into my NQT video of it. I hope that you like. Please do like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye.